how Jordan really benefited from sticking to a specific role that resembles what he would have in the NBA. What's the plan like in that sense for Anton Watson this year?
Yeah, I think it's the same. I think the good thing for Anton is he's had summer league and he's had training camp with us, but the plan is for him to play how he would with the Boston Celtics and sort of develop in that role and see where it goes from there.
And then obviously it's early, but what have you seen from Eric so far?
Eric's been good. He's a really good athlete. He can really pressure the ball up the court and does a lot of things and plays unselfish and has had some really good days.
How would you describe the energy in the first week of camp?
I mean, some of the guys in there have even said that it's one of the most competitive camps that they've been a part of at any level. Those first 3 days, I told you guys I really appreciated their efforts because it was a hard camp. We asked a lot of them physically, and they gave it to us, and they got better. And it was one of the more competitive settings that I've been in.
What do you think is the benefit of coming down here and using this facility for this group?
Yeah, I think it's cool for them just to see it and be a part of it and see the history. Obviously, you look up, you see the banners, you see last year's, you see the quotes on the wall, and you sort of understand that you get to be a part of this one, and that you're not far away from it too. And yeah, I think there's a lot to take away.
There's a lot of guys on this current Boston roster who have come up through Maine, through the G League. How helpful is it to be able to point to guys like Sam and Luke and even Jordan and Nene now as
for sure.
Hey, this is what you can get to?
Yeah, we actually did that the first time we ever met before we ever practiced. It was like, this is the vision. This is the most recent examples of success here, and this is the plan for you guys. So it's tremendously helpful, and it gets a lot of buy-in, and the guys really appreciate it and understand it. And yeah, that was the very first day.
Coach, for you personally, having to work your way, get a spot in the NBA, then you're with the Sixers and the Celtics, just like reflecting on where you've been as a coach and as a player in your journey to get this opportunity to be the head coach of the Maine Celtics, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, I'm super grateful to the organization for believing in me. I'm grateful for Brad and Joe for giving me this opportunity, and then also been very grateful and blessed to work with Jarrell Christian, our GM. He was the head coach of the Maine Celtics and has been a head coach before that, and he's been incredibly helpful. And just for me, yeah, this is all part of the process, and it's like same thing for players. There's no better opportunity to grow than being in the G League. So for my own personal growth and for our staff's growth, this is big time.
And last year they made it all the way to the finals, obviously fell short, but having some of these returning players like JD's going to be back again, Drew's going to be back again, how much does that help, and what are you looking to sort of change so you can keep that same standard?
Yeah, for sure. No, I think the organization has done a great job just in the first place of just having a place where people can go and get better before I ever got this job. And then the part about JD and Drew, the part that kind of goes missing in there is that they also saw a finals run. And so they sort of know what it takes to win and know what it takes to win at the highest level, whether it comes with their preparation or their effort or their understanding of situations and tactics. So yeah, I feel like we have a leg up in that regard.
And then some of the standard contract players like Baylor and Jordan and Jane, do you know if there's a plan yet for them to be at Maine at all versus with Boston?
I don't yet, I'm sure.
It sure sounded like a Celtics practice from the outside walls. Loud music, guys were loud, yelling. Is that what you're trying to do, is replicate how things are run at the big level to get guys ready for when they are?
Yeah, we're trying to have as much vertical top-down symmetry as possible in a lot of different ways, and then there's some other ways that we have to be a little bit creative and figure out how we're going to do stuff. But yeah, for sure, I think, and that's one of the things that I've learned from Joe, just being around him, is the energy that they bring every day, and he brings, and the staff brings every day, is something that we want to do, and we feel like the two organizations are all one.
Joe has talked about how difficult it can be for a young player to be on the Celtics just because with so many veterans around, they can be improving but not seeing kind of the tangible benefit from it. Mm-hmm. But from your perspective, from a development perspective, can it almost be helpful to have these guys just strictly focus on their own development rather than, oh, we have to pull this guy up to play in an NBA game this week because we're short on numbers or anything like that?
Sure, I don't know if I understand the question. Say it again.
Is it helpful to have these guys basically be able to have a developmental year, especially these younger players, rather than being thrust into NBA play maybe before they're ready for it?
Yeah. I mean, I think there's nothing that's going to replicate the game more than the game and more than pressure that they feel when they go and play real games and there's a shot clock and a score and a crowd. and just in development in general, we're constantly trying to build environments where they that are either game-like or have parts of the game that are live. But nothing replicates for those guys being able to like go and actually do it and have a crowd and have all the pressures that it takes to win.
Drew and JD both had pretty impressive preseasons. What have you seen from them in terms of their growth from last season to this one?
Yeah, I just see for both of them just their leadership and their understanding of not only our terminology and our strategy and the way that we play, but just their confidence in their voice and their ability to lead the group. I think especially with JD, that's always been something that we've talked about, and he's done a great job of taking that head on.
Have you been in communication with Joe throughout your transition to this new role, and is there any advice that he's given you that's kind of stuck with you?
No advice that I want to share.
Okay, that's fair.